Moses Itauma may be young, hungry, and undefeated, but calling out Oleksandr Usyk has backfired in the worst way possible. Instead of earning respect, he's being roasted by boxing pros who believe he's way out of his depth. The boxing world isn't holding back, and the criticism is brutal. What was supposed to be his bold statement has now turned into pure humiliation.
You must have a view of what level you're at now.
If you want my honest opinion, I think
I do.
If my skill set, if you're talking about my ring IQ and what I display in the ring, I feel like I am the best in the world, but I haven't displayed the later rounds. That's all what I kind of want to get ticked off. So my next opponent or opponents this year, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Moses Itauma is going up against Oleksandr Usyk, the heavyweight champion of the world. This isn't just a fight, it's a battle between a pro and emerging fighter. On one side, there's a fighter with raw, untested power who hasn't even broken a sweat in his professional career. On the other hand, you have one of the smartest and most successful boxing minds of this generation, a master tactician who has beaten every giant that has come his way. A name that sounds like an impossible mismatch is all over the boxing world, but this isn't just about a possible fight. The story is about a young man's historic goal colliding with the harsh, unforgiving world of elite-level boxing. The whole reason for this crazy talk is one famous name, Mike Tyson. Moses Itauma has said he wants to be a champion, but he has also said that his goal is to break Tyson's famous record and become the youngest heavyweight champion ever. That goal has put a time limit on his career, making it a frantic race against time that goes against the usual path in the sport. This isn't a slow build, it's an explosion. Itauma's early career has been a highlight reel of pure destruction, with a series of blistering first and second round knockouts that left opponents flattened and the media buzzing. He has a rare mix of size, speed, and left-handed power that has made him look completely unbeatable against the men he's fought so far. This explosive start has gotten people talking, making him more than just another prospect. Some people think he's a phenomenon, a force of nature that is going to change history, but that's exactly where the dream ends and the dangerous truth starts. As rumors of a possible Usyk fight grew from a whisper to a roar, a wall of legends rose up to stop them. These aren't just critics. These are men who have been through the fire of championship boxing and know how big and dangerous the gap is between a rising star and a reigning king. Amir Khan, a former world champion who knows how dangerous it is to face top-level competition, was very clear. He said that Itauma needs another 12 to 18 months of development and that fighting Usyk now would be too much, too soon.
I think with Moses, he's got the speed, power. I mean, look at the way he was throwing them shots, bro. So accurate and so on point. And so fast. Looked like a middleweight in there, even a lightweight in there. Yeah, I mean, he was very quick. And then obviously when the fight happened, when he got that win, I mean, it looked so easy. It's like he never broke a sweat. Now, yeah, he's gonna get a lot of people. Look, with him, I think one thing that he needs, he can't rush. Now I see that there's talks about Itauma fighting against, people saying, oh, he should fight against Usyk. No, there's just boxing fans saying that. If you look at it as a business, this guy's only 20 years old. He's got another 10 years easily in the sport of boxing. Let's build him slowly. Put him in with like a Hrgovic, who just got a good win. Put him in with Parker. That's another good win. And then slowly build him instead of rushing it. And then if he rushes it, God forbid he gets that one bad beating against Usyk, people are going to write him off again. And that he might not overcome that, right? Or, people writing him off. Very soon very soon for Usyk. I don't think he should take that fight just yet. Give it another 12 to 18 months for that fight. Yeah. So he's very young. And sometimes fights like that can destroy you, your career, your confidence, and everything. We don't know what he's going to be like when he gets beat. Imagine he might just say, "I don't want to do it again." You just don't know how a fighter is going to react. So why put him in that position where he's going to get beaten? Why put him in a hard fight? Build him, let him build, and he can become a superstar in the sport of boxing if he's managed well and right.
The sentiment was echoed by the hard-hitting Derek Chisora, a man who has personally experienced Usyk's boxing skills in the ring. Chisora didn't hold back when referring to the champion as a different beast and made it clear that Usyk is not the type of opponent you should put yourself through in your early career. Even experienced heavyweights can't seem to land a clean punch on the Ukrainian, so what chance would a teenager have? He explained.
Yes, he looked good on the scales, he lost weight, yeah, but the boxing style was not there.
Yeah.
If I was him, I'd have done to my team, I say, you know what? Give me a southpaw, I can box, in a real fight. Then I'll jump on Moses afterwards. Because when the last time he boxed a southpaw?
That's true.
No, I mean, like, he's never boxed one before, I don't think, in his career.
True.
And the time you take a fight with the young lion to go box him, you're mad. They offered me that fight, they're like, oh, Derek, His Excellency wants you to fight Moses Itauma. I like, bad connection. I can't hear you, bad connection. Can't hear you, bad connection, yeah. I was like, and they try to call back, I'm like,
Do you ultimately think it's because it was just the wrong fight to take?
it's the wrong fight to take.
Yeah.
Is it Oleksandr Usyk or is that too soon?
To leave Usyk alone. Usyk's a beast, man, different beast. Different beast.
Ricky Hatton, a member of the Boxing Hall of Fame, joined the chorus, urging everyone to hold fire, implying that Usyk will probably be retired from the sport by the time Itauma is truly prepared for that level. Tony Bellew, a man who knows firsthand what it's like to share the ring with Oleksandr Usyk, offered a chilling warning. People don't really understand what it takes to survive against a fighter of that caliber, he explained. Usyk doesn't just beat you on the scorecards, he systematically breaks you down. Before he ever finishes you physically, he chips away at your mind, dissecting, irritating, and draining you until there's nothing left. This isn't just a defeat, it's the kind of loss that can haunt a fighter forever, and that's why many argued it was reckless to throw a 19-year-old into such a psychological meat grinder. Usyk's defeat would be more than just a figure in the loss column. It would be a humiliation in public, a blow to one's self-esteem that could tear apart a young fighter's very foundation.
You gotta have the right fight plan to fight Usyk. If you don't have the right fight plan, he's gonna destroy you. You go out there trying to knock him out, he's gonna destroy you. And most of those guys that go out with the idea, oh, he's small, he came up from cruiserweight, we're gonna take him out. Wrong answer, you're not gonna take him out. He fought Gaisov, who was an even stronger puncher than most of these heavyweights are, and Gaisov couldn't do nothing with him. You know what I'm saying? Gaisov was one of the hardest punches I've seen in quite some time, and Gaisov didn't give him no real opposition, basically, you know? So for these guys to think a one-punch guy's gonna beat Usyk, that's not gonna happen.
Roy, what was your thoughts on Daniel Dubois and the way the fight ended? Do you believe that he could have got up? Do you think he quit?
Well, come on, Spencer, I thought he could have got the first time with the jab. That's what I keep telling you. And he knows, and Usyk knows, that he probably could have got up off of that jab, but he didn't. So you think Usyk gonna let him get up off of an overhand left? You think we really believe he gonna really get up and try off of an overhand left? No, we don't. He didn't get up off of a jab. Why would you get up off of an overhand left? Yeah, could he have gotten up? Probably, but he's shown that's not the person he is,
Promising fighters whose careers were pushed too far, too fast, and left them forever changed are a common sight in boxing history. Experts fear that Itauma's career would end before it had even started if he were to fight Usyk too soon. The young lion himself made a startling statement just as the case appeared to be over, and the notion was written off as a dangerous fantasy.
Why would Usyk take that fight? That's obviously my first thought. But, if the fight was to present itself, and they was like, right, you're fighting Usyk in May, I'm like, yeah, I'm taking it 100%. There's no loss in that. Do you get what I mean? I would take that fight 100%. But I just think, like, why would Usyk do that? Why would he? The money, he's made plenty of money.
What happens if you and Oleksandr Usyk sharing in December, let's say?
What do you think?
I'm asking you.
No. I know my answer, but what do you think?
I think it's a hell of a fight.
You gone commercial, you gone generic.
Moses Itauma displayed his own unwavering self-belief despite the overwhelming cautions of the sport's legends. He made the startling statement, "I feel like I got a better skill set than him," during an interview. Although he acknowledged that he lacked Usyk's mastered late-round experience, he firmly feels that he is better on a skill-for-skill basis. The entire debate was thrown into disarray by this one remark. The story abruptly changed. Was this the unfathomable self-assurance of a once-in-a-generation prodigy who sees opportunities and opportunities that others miss? Or was it the perilous illusion of a young, unskilled fighter who has never been put to the test and has no idea what the deep waters of championship boxing hold? This is the main conflict in the story of Moses Itauma. He is a fighter whose self-confidence and ambition are so great that they directly contradict the knowledge and expertise of the boxing community as a whole. In the world of boxing, fights are made for two reasons: for competition or for cash and clicks. The matchup between Itauma and Usyk falls squarely into the second category. For promoters and media outlets, the story is a goldmine. A teenage emerging fighter challenging the undisputed king is a narrative straight out of a Hollywood script. It generates headlines, sparks debate, and gets millions of views. It's the ultimate marketing angle. However, behind the curtain, the matchmakers and trainers know the grim reality. From a competitive standpoint, the fight is seen as a non-starter. Itauma is still years away from proving himself against fringe contenders, let alone the pound-for-pound master himself. This reveals the constant, cynical tension at the heart of the sport, the clash between what's good for business and what's good for a fighter's career. The hype is profitable, but the consequences of acting on that hype could be devastating for the young man at the center of it all. The truth is, a Usyk fight right now isn't just unlikely, it's reckless. The smarter path forward for Moses Itauma is the one boxing has always respected, climbing the ladder one rung at a time. Before his name is ever paired with a champion's, he needs to take on the durable, battle-tested fighters who serve as the division's true proving grounds.
Do you want to see Mosino with Oleksandr Usyk next, or too soon?
No, calm down. Let's get him in with Hrgovic, Caballel, those kind of guys, Bacoli, Jarrell Miller. Get the rounds, but he's a brilliant talent.
Think of guys like Filip Hrgovic, whose granite chin and relentless style expose whether a young prospect's knockout power is real or just hype. Hrgovic just proved himself again with a decision win over Joe Joyce, and he picked up another victory on the very same card where Itauma scored his own lightning knockout. Imagine the storyline: two rising forces on the same night, now potentially on a collision course. Then there are fighters like Daniel Dubois, who's been through the fire and knows the pressure of big stages. Dubois is the definition of fire and chaos. He shocked the world by knocking out Anthony Joshua earlier this year, only to be dropped and stopped by Usyk just months later. That's the kind of roller coaster experience Itauma doesn't have yet, but desperately needs before ever thinking about Usyk. Or Joseph Parker, a former world champion with experience against the absolute best. Parker isn't just a name on the resume. He's shared the ring with Joshua, Wilder, Ruiz, and White. He knows what it's like under the bright lights, the kind of pressure Itauma hasn't faced yet. These are the kinds of challenges that don't just test skill, they build character, conditioning, and the mental toughness needed to survive at the very top. Itauma's road to glory shouldn't be about skipping steps. It should be about earning each one, learning from every test, and gradually transforming raw talent into championship pedigree. That's the path that creates legends, not a shortcut to disaster. And even Tyson Fury himself has warned prospects that skipping steps is career suicide. Itauma, despite his confidence, has admitted he still needs to do the rounds before chasing belts.
As someone who's been part of Usyk's team for so long, do you want him to fight Itauma? Do you think that should happen? And how do you kind of see that happen? If it does happen, how do you kind of see it ending?
I think Moses is one of the best young fighters boxing has seen in years. And I'm not just saying that based on a result over Dillian. I hope you understand that when I look at a fighter, I'm looking at things that others don't see. I'm not looking at the hype. I'm looking at what he does in the ring, how he does it, his skill set. I'm looking at that because that's the important stuff. And right now, to me, he's shown probably a better skill set. Although we've only seen little bits in short spurts, he is showing a better foundation and a better fundamental base than I can think anybody in the division right now of the new up-and-coming crop. Caballel's good as well, but Moses just has something about that solid hand-up technique. He's really good basics, man. He's got his fundamentals down pat. So to me, it would be a fight that I know Usyk would take extremely seriously. I can't speak for Usyk as to whether he wants to or shouldn't want to fight, because that's a personal thing. For me, I think Usyk goes down in history as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. And I can think of only 3 guys who would be a slight, not huge, but a slight betting favorite over Usyk if we were to do dream matchups, okay? I can think of 3 guys. You know, I think it's going to be hard to argue that point, and that's how I want to see him go out. So for me, it's dangerous when I hear of any fight, whether it's Moses, Joseph Parker, any fight is offered to him. I know that Usyk is in a position of everything to lose and absolutely nothing to gain, and that bothers me the most.
At the end of the day, talk of Moses Itauma facing Oleksandr Usyk right now is more hype than reality. Itauma is still only 20 years old, with just 13 professional fights under his belt. 13 wins, 11 by knockout, and already the Commonwealth heavyweight champion. That's incredible. But Usyk is an undisputed heavyweight champion who has been tested at the highest level against the very best in the sport. That's a gap you simply can't close overnight. And remember, Usyk just reminded the world why he's the king. In July 2025, in front of 90,000 fans at Wembley, he knocked out Dubois in the 5th round to reclaim undisputed status. That's the level Itauma would be walking into right now, a lion's den. The truth is, Itauma has the raw tools and natural ability to eventually reach the top, but he still needs rounds, experience, and time in the ring against world-class opposition before he's anywhere near Usyk's level. Let's not forget, he's already sparred Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury before even turning pro, which proves the talent is real. But sparring and surviving championship nights under the lights are 2 very different things. For now, the real focus isn't on a Usyk fight, it's on Itauma's development. If he's built up the right way, there's no doubt he could become a dominant force in the heavyweight division in the years to come. But right now, this isn't about titles or super fights. It's about patience, progress, and proving himself step by step. And here's the part that keeps fans buzzing. Whispers already say Itauma could return to the ring this December, with Filip Hrgović being discussed as a potential opponent. If that fight actually happens, we'll finally see if the hype is real, or if Usyk remains a dream too far. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.